getting hot in here. I might wind up turning on my fan, so if that is super loud, I apologize, but it is just like way too hot in here right now. Hey everyone, it's Savannah. Today I'm going to be doing a tattoo tour, so I'm going to be showing you guys all my tattoos, all of their meanings, when I got them. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do like pain scale or like pain ratings for each of the locations on my body, just because I personally have a really high pain tolerance, and so I don't know if it's actually going to be helpful to anyone, because I'm probably going to be like, oh, it was a 2 for like all of them. I don't know. Whenever I get tattoos, like, I'm just so excited that the pain doesn't even register, and I've never really been like afraid to get tattoos just because the pain is so minor. But I'll try to give like a good insight on how I feel when I get them in some of the pain scale, but I'm not sure how helpful it'll be. So I'm gonna try to start chronologically. I didn't write anything down, so if I miss any, I'll have to throw them in later. But I'm also gonna throw in clips that I filmed after of them up close so that you guys can get a better look at them, because I feel like me just trying to show you like right now is gonna be really awkward. But I started getting tattoos when I was really young. I started getting them when my friends started figuring out how to make tattoos, like makeshift home tattoos, when we were like 15. And so we would give each other like stick and pokes, and then I had a couple friends who got a hold of tattoo guns. None of them are really that bad per se. Like, I'm very lucky that I didn't have any like penises drawn on me, but they are very like 15-esque, very reminiscent of my teenage years, but I don't hate them by any means. So the first one I ever got was just this one on my finger, and it's just like, it's an eye with like the lashes on top and the lashes on the bottom. Yeah, it has absolutely no meaning. I mean, I could always, the thing is people will ask me if things have meaning, and if they do, I will gladly tell them, but if they don't, then, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and try to make up a meaning for you just so I don't look stupid, I guess, because I think you're gonna look more stupid by just sitting there and trying to like come up with a meaning. But yeah, that was my first tattoo. One of my ex-boyfriends gave it to me, just a stick and poke, and you'll see in the up close, you can see like the little pokes and everything, so it's not that well done, but I don't hate it. Like, it is one of the first things people see, and I get a lot of compliments on it. So yeah. And then the second tattoo I ever got, which is on my arm, is just this lotus with some arrows going through it. I actually got this tattoo when I was 16, and it is a professionally done tattoo. My parents are crazy. They just were like, you want tattoos? Go for it. And they signed my waivers and everything. Like, my parents were so chill. And at the time, I had such a different perspective and view on tattoos. Like, I would just look at my tattoos on Pinterest and then just be like, please do exactly this, which is like so not what I do now. So wrong. Just so young. But anyhow, so that's the one that's on my arm. I have a couple tattoos booked in September, and one of them is to cover up that tattoo. Not because I hate it per se, not because it's so bad. It's nothing to do with that, honestly. If it wasn't in that placement, like if it wasn't directly right on my arm, I would probably keep it because I think it looks fine. But it's just kind of in the way of where I want to start adding more pieces. Like, I did start putting a lot of art on this arm, and all the pieces that I do really love are on this arm, and so I feel like this piece kind of just jams in the way of the flow of where I want all my other pieces to go. So yeah, it's not going to be that hard to cover up because it is very thin line work, but maybe I'll do an updated tattoo tour once I've gotten those new tattoos. I think the next tattoo that I got was the one on my ribs. It's just right under my right boob, and it's just in cursive writing, and it says Ardenti Animus, which means burning soul in Latin. And I got that one when I was 18. Right on my 18th birthday, I went out by myself and I just got it. I got it because in high school, my AP English teacher, he had a master's in Latin, and he was also like one of my biggest heroes. He really like taught me a lot, and I was always very engaged in his classes, and he had a lot of wonderful things to say is all I'm going to say. But he would always teach us Latin because his master's was in Latin, and it's a fascinating language. Like it's fascinating that so many languages derived from it, and it has so much profundity in it. So that's why I chose that language, just because it had a lot of meaning to me. And then Burning Soul I just chose just because I think it's a really nice, I think it's just a really nice thought to think that, you know, the people with the most passion and the people with the most desires and the people with the most fire in them will have an eternally burning soul. Hoping that your soul carries somewhere after death, if you have a lot of passion and if you're a really passionate person. So then my next one I believe that I got was the one on the back of my arm. It's just this bad boy right here. Most of the tattoos on this arm were done by my current tattoo artist. His name's Casper, and I do have a couple here and there that aren't from him, but for the most part, all the ones on this arm I wanted to keep done by him, just because I found an artist that I liked their style and he's awesome, so he's got a lot of real estate on this arm. But this one on the back of my arm symbolizes one of the attributes of the devil in tarot cards. One theme that you'll find in this video is that a lot of my tattoos have to do with tarot cards. I do tarot readings, and I'm not going to get too much into that because I'll probably make a whole separate video on that. But I do tarot readings, but I don't fully dive into the spiritual aspect, just because I'm not a super spiritual person, but I believe so incredibly heavily in the psychological aspect of tarot cards and tarot readings. I think that psychology is one of the most interesting realms of education ever, and I think that self-reflection in any form is extremely healthy, and so that's why I really strongly believe in tarot cards. And so this one on the back of my arm represents temptation. And so the hand holding the rose essentially is just symbolizing like the devil handing you a rose. The reason I didn't get like a devil claw is because typically when you are tempted by something evil, it is not going to be shown to the naked eye as something evil. It's going to come across as something very charming, something very welcoming, something very I don't know, something that you would want to say yes to. So I did it in a very just like light-handed human hand, just so that it looks like just someone giving you a rose. And then I also threw in the moon at the top, just because I wasn't sure if I was going to be getting more tarot card related tattoos, and the moon card is my favorite card by far, and I love the attributes that are associated with it. So then the next two that I got was this moon and this writing on my finger. So these two I actually got done at a shop that's closed now, and it's really a funny story. I might even just like save it for a story time because it's kind of a wild story, but the guy who did it, he was a little bit, all I'm gonna say is he was not sober when he did these tattoos, and I could tell, but I really didn't care because I was kind of just like, they're small finger tattoos, like who cares? But basically I just got the moon because once again it is my favorite symbol in all of tarot cards. That's why I got that one there, and I thought it was really fitting with this tattoo. And then I got the word devil on the inside of my finger. That one was just a little bit of kind of a joke at the time, but also I just was feeling kind of rebellious. Yeah, it's a little immature in hindsight, but I still think it's funny when I look at it. I was a little devil when I was 18, so I do really still like that one. One of the next tattoos I got was a tattoo that one of my ex-friends did. Basically, we were super drunk and she had a tattoo gun kit, so I asked her to just do a lightning bolt on the back of my arm. So I do just have this little guy right here. It does look really messy up close. You can tell it's just like totally an at-home tattoo, but truth be told, I love it. I think it's super cute. So then the next tattoo that I got, I believe, was my Three of Swords tattoo, which is just right on my forearm here. And this guy is also to do with tarot cards, and the card is called the Three of Swords, and it's just this anatomically correct heart with three swords in it, or daggers, whatever you want to call it. And I really just love that card because of the two different meanings to it. If you get the card facing towards you the right way, it symbolizes doom and pain and eternal suffering and just a lot of really negative things. But to me, it's facing upside down, and when the Three of Swords is facing upside down, it symbolizes resilience, optimism, and releasing of pain. So I really loved that meaning at that time in my life. I graduated high school, I was out traveling on my own, I'd left a lot of people out of my life. When I left from high school, I just deleted a lot of people, and I just thought that releasing of pain was very fitting for that time in my life. So I thought that that card was really awesome, and I also love the placement and how it fits with all the rest of my tattoos. The next one that I got was definitely this sun on my arm. And as you can probably tell by all these patterns, it is also to do with tarot cards. So this sun I actually got done in Portugal. So when I traveled to Europe last year, I went to Portugal, Spain, and Greece. And when I was in Portugal, I was there by myself, and I just figured one day that I wanted to get a tattoo. So I did my research, and I spent like 2 days when I was in Lagos looking up all the tattoo shops there, and a lot of them did kind of seem like just tourist tattoo shops where they just do a quick job and then they get you out of there. But there was one shop that was really renowned, and it had really amazing ratings. So I went in there, and they weren't able to get me in the day that I wanted to get in, but they said to come back the next day, so I did. And I believe it was called Black Ship Tattoo, but that might be wrong. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it was Black Ship in Lagos, and I was just feeling so positive and optimistic, and I felt like I had clarity. And so I figured, you know what, even if I'm not feeling like that for the rest of my life, let's kind of like frame this memory. I think that it really captured the feeling that I had when I was in Portugal. So, and that is the meanings behind the sun card and tarot cards, is positivity, clarity, optimism, and all those good kind of attributes. Oh, I did miss one from earlier, but it's kind of, I don't even know if it really counts, but I have one on my foot. And I did it myself when I was about 16, I think. I did it with just like the most ghetto hand poke kit ever. Like, I just had a needle taped to a pencil with some string around it, and I just did it myself. And the funny thing about it is that I never actually finished it because it hurt so bad. When you're poking yourself, sorry, it is just so hot in here, I'm trying to like turn my air conditioner. But it hurts so bad to give yourself a stick and poke because you are repetitively sticking a needle into your skin. And so as high as my pain tolerance is, that was extremely painful. So it just looks like this, and it's just half of an arrow, and it originally was supposed to be a full arrow, but it's forever going to be a half arrow because I just didn't finish it. Yeah, so moving on to, I think I only have 2 left, I think. If I miss any, then whoops, I guess it'll be in the next one. But so then the next tattoo I got was just my snake and rose on my forearm here up to my wrist. So funny story behind this one, I've named my little snake here. His name's Dennis. He just always peeks out of my long sleeves, and people always see him, they're like, oh, like so-and-so is peeking out. So then I figured he kind of needed a name, so his name is Dennis. But I got the snake with the rose to also symbolize temptation. Just any of the symbolism to do with that I think is really fascinating. I think any of the literature to do with that is very fascinating. So obviously the snake wrapping itself around the rose, that's a very easy to figure out symbol. It also just represents temptation, the story of Adam and Eve, which again, I'm not Christian, but it's just kind of like a renowned story. It's just a symbol of the devil coming on something beautiful like a rose and showing itself in one of its forms. And so I think that it just kind of goes really nice with the rest of my tattoos here. By the way, sorry for this band-aid, just ignore that. And yeah, I think it just was a nice like centerpiece for a lot of the other pieces I want to get. So yeah, and Casper also did that one as well, and I just love his work. It's just so dark, but then also just like such a beautiful style, and he has such nice line work. Like you'll see in the up close like how detailed his shadowing and his dot work is, and it's just like I'm over the moon for it. And so the last tattoo I got pretty recently. I got it probably like a month ago or 2 months ago. I won't be able to show you right now because it's on my leg, but I will definitely show you when I'm filming all my other tattoos. It just says bad luck on my right thigh. And the reason I got this tattoo was just because at this time in my life, I was going through so much bad luck. Like 2 months ago or a month ago, for like 6 months prior to that, everything that could have gone wrong was going wrong. And I just like, I don't know, I was trying to find some sort of salvation and nothing was working. And then, so finally I just broke down and I went to my tattoo shop and I was like, I need someone to tattoo bad luck on me because that is, it's following me, you know? And everyone in the tattoo shop was like, if you get bad luck tattooed on you, it will break the curse. Like if you have a bad luck curse going on, it will undoubtedly break the curse. So then I was just like, tattoo me up. And to be honest, I think that that's actually very true. I think that you're going through something bad, or if you think that bad luck is following you or you're cursed or something along those lines, I think that if you tattoo good luck on you, it's almost like jinxing it. But if you tattoo bad luck on you, I think it's like kind of like looking fate in the eyes and saying, do your worst to me, like do your fucking worst. Like it is tattooed on me, and if you're accepting that you have bad luck and you are embracing it and you are not letting it affect you and you are not letting it break you down, then I think that there's no reason for fate to get satisfaction out of you know, making it worse. So yeah, that is all my tattoos, I think. If I forgot any, I will either put it in the description or add it at the end, or I will put it in the next tattoo video. But I hope I didn't miss any. I don't think I did. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.